You are drifting gently in the warm ocean water, the sunlight reflecting and sparkling on the surface, and everything seems perfect until something soft, slippery, and almost invisible brushes against your skin. There is no sound, no warning, and no sign of danger whatsoever. But just seconds later, your body begins to react violently. Your heart beats erratically, your muscles spasm uncontrollably, and you suddenly realize a chilling truth. You have less than a minute to live. What just touched you is not an ordinary creature, but one of the most efficient killing machines the ocean has ever created. How can a brainless creature take down a human faster than any other predator? And if that happens to you, will you even have enough time to understand what is going on? Introduction to the creature and its danger level. The creature that just touched you is called the sea wasp, also known as the marine box jellyfish, one of the most venomous species ever known on this planet. In terms of toxicity, its venom is over 25 times more potent than that of a king cobra and roughly 20 times stronger than a black widow spider's, an almost unimaginable disparity when compared to these already notoriously dangerous species. Just one adult individual carries enough venom to kill over 1.2 million mice, a staggering figure that would startle anyone. But the most terrifying aspect is not just the potency of its venom, but the frequency with which it causes human fatalities. The sea wasp is responsible for about 90% of all jellyfish-related deaths worldwide, more than all other jellyfish species combined, and even surpassing the number of shark-induced fatalities. An almost transparent creature with no bones, no brain, and no teeth has become a greater threat than apex predators. Does that make you wonder how nature created it? Hunting methods and operating mechanisms. To understand why the sea wasp is so dangerous, we must look at how it hunts, as this is the foundation of its power. The first thing that surprises many is that it has absolutely no brain, but that does not mean it cannot see you. The sea wasp possesses a simple nerve net and notably 24 primitive eyes located around its bell-shaped body. These eyes do not allow it to recognize faces or detailed shapes, but they are extremely sensitive to light, shadows, and especially movement, the most crucial element for hunting. Unlike many other jellyfish that merely drift with the current, the sea wasp can swim actively. It contracts its body like a natural engine, generating powerful thrusts that allow it to move at speeds of up to 5 miles per hour, faster than the average human swimming speed. When it detects the movement of a prey, it does not charge directly, but gently adjusts its position, trailing its long, nearly invisible tentacles around to form a deadly trap. Prey such as small fish or shrimp continue swimming without realizing the danger right in front of them until they accidentally brush against those tentacles. And in the moment of contact, thousands of microscopic, harpoon-like structures fire simultaneously, piercing the skin and injecting venom into the prey's body, paralyzing it almost instantly. Can you imagine the feeling of having absolutely no chance to react when everything ends in a split second? Why the venom evolved beyond necessity? What baffles scientists is that the sea wasp only hunts very small prey, usually small fish or shrimp, creatures no larger than the palm of a hand. So why does it need a venom so potent that it can kill creatures hundreds of times its size, even humans? The answer lies in evolutionary pressure and speed. The sea wasp's prey are incredibly agile. With just a moment's delay, they could escape danger. Therefore, the sea wasp's venom cannot afford to act slowly. It must take down the prey instantly, leaving no chance for resistance. Over millions of years of evolution, individuals with faster, stronger venom had a greater survival advantage, and gradually the venom of the species became so extreme that it far exceeded its original needs. Interestingly, it did not evolve to kill humans, but inadvertently became one of the greatest threats to us. This raises a thought-provoking question. How many things in nature are dangerous to us simply because they were created for an entirely different purpose? How the venom affects the human body. When the sea wasp's venom enters the body, it does not operate in the conventional way we think of toxins. Instead of spreading slowly and causing gradual damage, it directly attacks vital systems from the very first seconds. The venom contains special proteins capable of inserting themselves into cell membranes and creating tiny pores, much like puncturing the protective layer of every single cell. Red blood cells are the most severely affected. As their membranes rupture, potassium and other ions spill uncontrollably into the bloodstream, leading to hyperkalemia. This imbalance disrupts the heart's electrical system, causing it to lose its steady rhythm and begin convulsing chaotically, ultimately stopping the pumping of blood altogether. At the same time, other components of the venom affect the nervous system and muscles, causing nerve signals to fire continuously, resulting in excruciating pain almost immediately. Muscles spasm, then quickly become exhausted, and the nervous system is overloaded and collapses. Within minutes, the entire body falls into a state of complete paralysis. The most terrifying aspect is the speed of this process. It is so fast that the victim may not even have time to comprehend what is happening before their body shuts down. Can you imagine feeling the most excruciating pain of your life while knowing you do not have much time left? What happens during an attack and the chances of survival? If a person is stung by a sea wasp, time becomes the deciding factor between life and death. In some cases, vinegar can be used to neutralize any unfired stinging cells left on the skin, and cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, can help sustain life temporarily. However, the harsh reality is that most incidents occur while the victim is in the water, where rescue cannot happen immediately. Even if antivenom is available, it must be administered extremely quickly and cannot reverse the damage that has already occurred. In severe cases, the victim can collapse in just a few minutes before any help can arrive. This makes the sea wasp one of the most terrifying dangers, not because it always kills, but because when it does so incredibly fast. Real-world danger and statistics. The sea wasp is most common in the northern waters of Australia, where it has caused more fatalities than sharks, crocodiles, and many other dangerous species combined. Globally, it is estimated that between 40 and over 100 people die each year from box jellyfish, but the actual number could be significantly higher, especially in remote coastal areas where cases are not fully documented. Many victims collapse right in the water or die on the beach without ever being officially recorded. This makes the sea wasp a silent threat, unassuming yet incredibly deadly. Have you ever thought that the greatest danger in the ocean might not be something you can clearly see? Why it's more dangerous than imagined? One of the factors that makes the sea wasp particularly dangerous is its near invisibility. Its body is transparent, and its tentacles are so thin that they are almost impossible to see in the water. It typically appears in shallow, warm waters where people often swim. Many victims do not even know what they have touched until the pain hits, and by then, things have already spiraled out of control. You might be able to avoid a shark if you see it from afar, but what will you do when the danger is completely invisible and appears right next to you? Creatures that can withstand it. Although the sea wasp is extremely dangerous, there are still some creatures that can withstand it. The leatherback sea turtle is a prime example, with its thick skin and protective mucus layer preventing the stinging cells from penetrating. Some fish and other marine animals also have the ability to endure or avoid its tentacles, but these cases are quite rare. This shows that despite its power, the sea wasp still has weaknesses within the natural ecosystem. Scientific potential of the venom. Interestingly, the sea wasp's venom is not just a threat, but also an opportunity for science. The cell-destroying proteins could be studied to target cancer cells, while the components affecting the nervous system could help develop new painkillers. This is a fascinating paradox. The most pain-inducing substance in nature could become the key to relieving human pain. Could this very venom save millions of lives in the future? The future and a growing threat. In recent years, sea wasp populations have been increasing due to rising ocean temperatures, which expand their habitat. Areas that previously did not have this species may soon have to face it. This makes the threat harder to control as they reproduce quickly, are difficult to detect, and are nearly impossible to eradicate completely. How humans cope. Currently, humans rely primarily on preventive measures such as stinger nets, vinegar stations, and lifeguard training. In some places, people even wear full-body stinger suits when swimming. These measures show that the sea wasp is not an imagined threat, but a reality that must be taken seriously. The sea wasp does not hunt humans, but it is clear proof of how dangerous nature can make creatures just to serve the goal of survival. The next time you step into the ocean, remember that not all dangers can be seen. If you found that this video made you look at the ocean in a different way, please hit like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our upcoming content.